So fun fact, I wasn't even recording this whole time when I drew for Virgos. Virgos got a lot of cards. I feel bad because I did Leos and I tried to keep it like minimal, so I tried to keep myself at like a 3-card limit with each deck, but I was just like, you know what, frick it, let's just go, let's just pull some cards for Virgos, right? And a lot of cards came out, a lot of messages. Yeah, that I'm gonna go further and write my notes like I like to do, so I can give a more clear, deciphered message and get some specifics for some specific people who may be specifically watching. You guys got a lot of cards, but yeah. So Virgos, y'all situation is interesting. I see here, like, so what I'm getting here is some anxieties over here, and then this, where I have the ancestral deck, y'all can't really see here. So up top I have the Romani deck, and then right here I have all these cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards that I pulled from the ancestral deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards that I pulled from the Medicine Woman deck, and then 3 Angel Oracle cards, as well as 4 of my channel messages here. So there's a lot of messages, and I feel like the ancestral deck here is kind of describing your situation, your current situation, kind of, and also kind of like the past, most recent past is what I'm getting. What's just kind of like what's been going on lately, what have you been dealing with, what are you dealing with, recovering from, reeling from, etc. And I think the Romani cards are probably going to show somewhat of what you're feeling right now. And then the Medicine Woman deck is just some messages of what you need to focus on, what you need to work on, things that are coming towards you, etc. That's what I'm feeling right now. Plus, I'm interested, I don't really know anything about numerology with the 3, 3, and then you have a 9, and then you have a 16 reverse. But anyways, I'm gonna pause the video so you can kind of dive in deeper, take a moment with the cards, and kind of take some notes, and come back with what messages that I have for you guys. Okay, so I'm recording. I'm back. I've interpreted everything. I guess my thing is kind of getting really specific to kind of call out some certain people who may be watching, because I've gotten some really specific storylines here. And I guess that's kind of like my thing is I like to be as in-depth as personal as possible, so there's definitely going to be some things that are like, oh, this is totally not about me, and that's just because I cling on really to really important stories that people need to hear, so like really important journeys that are going on. Obviously this is for a group of people under a certain sign. This is for the Virgos. So I think I'm just gonna start. I got a lot. It's really hard because I write these things down, and I think maybe for the next sign, I think I'm gonna record while I'm writing things down, because I kind of get into that translate state. And if I was just recording what I was saying as I was writing down, it would be a lot easier. I think I'm just worried about it coming across clumsy or like in disarray or disorganized, but I think I just kind of need to let go of that and just like let spirit do its thing, the way that it does its thing with me. But in any case, this is the way that I did this one, so we're gonna go on with it. So I started with the 10 of Cups from the Orisha deck. So what this shows here is this is like your Ori, which is like your destiny, and so it's said in Lukumi, Santeria, or in other Yoruba, Ifa-based religions, it's said that everybody chooses their Ori, their destiny, before they come to Earth. So that's what's happening right here, and you can see a legua down here, kind of helping guide this decision being made. So anyways, one of the interesting things that stuck out was that it's talking about a soul choosing the destiny. So definitely one of the first messages that I got from this was something to do with like family relations, a soulmate, twin flame even, because it's talking about a soul choosing a destiny. And that's definitely the way that this reading ended up going, is that I feel it definitely has something to do with some type of relationship, and a relationship could mean marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It could be a romantic, platonic friendship, familial, any type of relationship, but this is a very important relationship, a very significant relationship, a possible twin flame situation, if you believe in those types of things, or soulmate situation. And then right into that, we go into the Page of Discs, right? Which, with a lot of pages, which you have another one, which is the Apprentice of Wands, or the Page of Wands. With the pages, some of y'all are going to be getting good news. So there's definitely, that's a message I wanted to come through, is that some of y'all are going to be getting good news. So if y'all been waiting on good news, things are definitely going well. Also, the Page of Discs, or the Page of Stones, definitely is heavy earth energy. So that's definitely that Virgo energy, because we're talking about Virgo. So I feel like this definitely represents you. And where you're at is you're kind of starting again. You're starting, so the page is, the lowest of the quartz. It's the apprentice of things. You're learning, you're relearning things, you're relearning tradition, you're learning to separate what benefits you and what doesn't benefit you anymore. You're learning to have that proper discernment that you need for things like that, and you're building a solid foundation. Things are going well. Recalling back to the Ten of Cups card, one of the storylines that kind of came out is that some of you guys may be reuniting, or have reunited with that twin flame, that partner, your other part of your soul, your destiny. So that can mean that some of you guys are on your destined path, your career choice, or you're with your destiny with your as far as a person is concerned, and you're having a chance to start again, to have a fresh start and build a solid foundation, and learning the way to do things, and understand that it is very tedious and grueling and gross work, dealing with your destiny, and dealing with that, and meeting that higher purpose and stuff like that, but it's worth it. And the very next card is the Death card, right? And the Death card is all about rebirth and renewal. Like with death comes rebirth. So it's the start of something new. Death is not about actual death. It's about the ending of things, the separating of things that don't serve you anymore, and moving forward, and having that growth, that rebirth. So I definitely feel like you Virgos are kind of starting again with something, whatever that may be. You're starting again, and you're reuniting with your higher purpose. You have a second chance to make things right. That's definitely like what I'm getting, is that you have a second chance to make things right. Like over here, like we have the Ten of Swords, and that card definitely talks about like betrayal, trigger warning. It talks about violence, abuse, and stuff like that. So either you guys also got one of the messages that said you're wrong. So I'm feeling like you guys might have been wrong in a situation. You guys might have been the perpetuator of well, you got that, of violence, of this severing, of this breaking of things, of this going away from your destiny. So some of you guys might have been somewhat on a downward spiral, I don't want to say, but I guess in a way, and you're being given a second shot at things, a chance to make things right, because you have the world at your feet, right? You have so much potential, so much opportunity, and so much chance, and this is your chance right now. You have it. Don't don't fuck it up, right? And that's kind of like the situation that you're in. And like I'm gonna get to like all these really cool synchronicities that are happening, like the fact that you have a 10 of cups and a 10 of swords, and I definitely feel like those are related. Like I feel like one of the definite storylines that I have is that some of you guys have reunited with your twin flame, or are going to reunite with your twin flame, or you're going to meet your twin flame, and either in the past life or in this current life you did something. You have a lot of karmic energy, right, that you have to deal with, and we're going to get to that as we get further into the reading because we have so many other cards to get to. But you're dealing with a lot of karmic energy and karmic destiny and things like that. But yeah, so you're basically like you're having a chance to reconnect with this with the twin flame, with this family reunion, with this soulmate, after having done something so wrong and so cruel. And the fact that they're both, that's what I was saying, the fact that they're both 10s, right? 10 represents rebirth, right? We have the 1 and the 0, and the 10 spiritual meaning is about rebirth. So that's definitely what we're getting here. And then if we go to the 33 card in the Romani deck, this is the broken mare. And remember earlier I was saying, so this again goes with like this storyline that I'm picking up on, where some of you guys might have violated somebody's trust or had your trust violated. And the quote that I had said when I saw this was about a broken mirror, which is like, trust is like a broken mirror. You can fix it, but you can still see the cracks in the reflection, right? But the funny thing is that this card corresponds to the death card in tarot, so definitely getting a lot of rebirth, renewal. You guys are having a second shot at life, right? A second shot at whatever it is that you all have really been wanting, right? And really wanting. And you have a shot at it. You're being given a chance, right? And you need to find your balance here, because then we have the justice reverse, right? Here, hold on, sorry, I've already been showing you. And the bottom of that card says balance, and this is reversed. So this is definitely saying that you guys need to achieve balance, and more specifically seek inner balance, inner emotional balance is another message that's coming through for some of you guys. I know that my earthen peoples can tend not to be very in tune with their emotions, or be more grounded and into reality. And definitely some of the messages, like I can go flip through that book and look at some of these cards and some of the prescriptions that are in this book from the ancestors, from the Orisha, that were pulled out, say things like, hey, remember that your spirituality and your spiritual side is just as important as your rational and logical side. So y'all really need to take time to balance that inside, that emotional health, that emotional quotient, that emotional well-being, emotional intelligence. Y'all need to work on that, right? Again, with the balance, so this is the justice card, right? Reverse. Taking accountability for whatever may have happened. So if this happened during this lifetime, make sure that you face your own self-accountability and your own responsibility. Don't live in the victim mind frame, which is what I wrote down. So again, this can also represent that your trust was violated, your trust was broken, and you're learning how to move forward, right? You're learning how to be reborn and separate what is beneficial to you and what has not been beneficial to you. You need to also take accountability as to what your choices and your decisions led you to where you are now, led to this this rebirth, right? What part did you take in it? The Six of Stones, Six of Pentacles is a card all about power and control, which we've been talking about. You need to relinquish that. You need to, again, let go of that logic and that rational whatever of, well, this is what made sense, this is why I did this is why that happened, this is why this is why that, this is this is that. Sometimes you just need to let it go and let God, let spirit, let ancestors, let somebody else worry about it, right? It's not your problem, right? Let other people help you too. And speaking of other people, you have the Page of Pipes and you have the Queen of Swords. So you definitely have this feminine energy. So we know that not Taurus, excuse me, Virgo is definitely very grounded, masculine energy. So that doesn't mean obviously that you are masculine presenting or masculine identifying, but Virgos have very much masculine energy, right? You have a feminine energy coming towards you, which is, you know, the counterbalance to you. So regardless of your gender identity, and the other person's gender identity, there is a divine feminine energy coming your way. I'm getting Aries, Libra, Gemini energy, Leo energy. So definitely like some fiery energy. And then with the Queen of Swords, that air energy, that Libra, Gemini, I get that hardcore energy. So maybe she's a sign. Again, if we're going back to this timeline, if you're reuniting with your soulmate and your soulmate is a feminine person, or is the feminine counterpart to you, this is a person that is coming into your life that is offering this chance to be reborn, right? There's people that have wisdom here. We go to the Queen of Swords. This represents a person that's not going to mince words. But also someone that you probably admire. You probably know this person, and they're kind of like they defend people, right? They defend who they need to defend. They defend the little guy. And they're very supportive, and they're even supportive of you, and they don't mince their words, and at the same time they're very playful and childlike, and that's something that you need to reconnect to, because you are so logical and grounded and just focused on that you have let your inner child kind of die, and you've let your creativeness die. Some of y'all might say, I don't have a creative side, I'm not creative. That's not the case at all. It's just like with any skill, you have to hone it, you have to work with it, and that's something that this person might spark for you. And they might offer alternative ways of helping, and you got to be open to it, right? This person has either been hurt by you, so they know, or they have a lot more wisdom and a lot more stories than you even know, and you should probably look to them for help, for some wisdom. Again, it could be an older woman, a more mature woman, or a femme person, or just somebody different from you. So the alternative energy to you, you're more the grounded energy. This person is more of a loftier energy, more reserved energy, where you might be something else, you know. So look for that up here. You have the Strength card, Healing card. Again, this card is talking about mastering your emotions and conquering your anxiety, believing in your ability to grow and heal, and believe in yourself. So again, I'm definitely getting this idea that there's some growth and change happening, right? There's some big changes, big rebirth happening, big growth happening, and it's going to take strength and courage to confront these things, and to take accountability and take responsibility and to own up to these things, and to master your emotions, because it's something that, you know, a lot of Virgos can kind of just get away with ignoring, right? Because you don't have a use for it, right? Very logical, very rational. I don't really have a use for it, so I kind of just let it, you know, whatever. Not realizing that it is something that is as important, and now perhaps you're at this crossroads, which is very funny because we have Seven of Wands. We got a lot of Seven of Wands energy. There's 3 cards that represent Seven of Wands. We haven't even gotten to it. But your back of the deck energy is Seven of Wands, which is at the crossroads. So, you know, you're at this crossroads of wanting to move on and move forward, and may not necessarily know how to, right? So it's going to take a lot of courage and strength to be able to do that and to move forward and do these things. But believe in yourself and believe in your ability to do these things, because we are our own worst enemies, especially such grounded people like especially with Virgos. Virgos are very hard on themselves and other people. So you can become your own worst enemy and then you end up becoming stagnant. So don't do that. And again, with the Page of Wands, good news. So again, some of y'all might be waiting on some good news, or you just received good news. But it's a coming. So now we're gonna go to the Seven of Wands, which is also this Nine of Fox, right? And also your back of the deck energy, right? So you drew it 3 times here, so it's obviously very important. So these are some of the messages that I got for you all. You may be feeling attacked a lot, and you have an uphill battle, and you need to have stamina because the world is at your feet. Just endure, persevere, and you will win. Again, when I looked at the ancestor deck to look at what their interpretation of the Seven of Wands. So here we're at the crossroads. And the crossroads are very interesting, right? There's a lot of heat here. Stuff goes down at the crossroads, right? And it's neither good or bad, but it's interesting, right? Things happen at the crossroads. So things that stood out, because again we were going with a storyline that was popping out, was that there was violence involved here, and look, we can even see that we have visually similar ideas going on here. In a flash of anger, wrecking what you have built, which corresponds to the Ten of Swords. And then we have pray to your Ori was one of the solutions, which is pray to your higher destiny. And I will show you all at the end. I might be wrong too, so maybe not. But I will put a link to a tweet to show you how to pray to your Ori. And you can do this for 21 days when you wake up. You can also do it before you go to bed. And just to kind of align yourself with your higher purpose, with your destiny, and then align yourself with that right track, right? But anyways, to go back, in a flash of anger, wrecking what you have built, take the high road and endure. So again, some of you might be getting back into a twin flame situation, right? Where there may have been some not so nice things happening, not so pleasant things happening. You're being given a second chance, right? You need to make sure that you don't go back to those ways, right? Again, and then with the 9, with the fox here, which also corresponds to the Seven of Wands in the tarot deck, it says, beware, watch out, do not ignore the chance the fox is giving you. Meet the challenge, persevere, and win. That's what was in the book, right? And I think that's very interesting because, again, it goes with this idea that this person, whoever this may be, or these people, because it could be a community, it could be an organization, it could be a job, is giving you another chance, right? They're giving you another chance, and you need to not take it for granted, because you may have been doing that in your life, right? You may have taken a lot of stuff for granted, and you need to not take it for granted now, because another message that I had written down, Death card in the Orisha deck, it said, what are you doing that's wasting your time, and work the ground on where you stand, right? So it's saying that you need to take advantage of where you are right now. You need to appreciate where you are right now. You need to take advantage of the chance being given to you, and you need to work the process now, not later. Not keep putting it off, not keep putting whatever it is that you're putting off, because now is the time, right? Now is the only time that we have, right? And you need to honor that time. You need to honor the time that you have now. You need to honor the chance that you're being given now, not later. Which is also really interesting, because then we went to the lilies reverse, which was just kind of more, again, talking about being in balance and then needing to connect to your higher self, connect to your body, right? But what was interesting is there was a quote there at the bottom. It was a Romani quote that said, "Life is not separate from death. It just looks that way," which reminded me again of the quote from the death card in the Orisha deck that said, work the ground you stand on now. So do the work now. Do that healing now, to save, this life and the next life, because this life is all that matters. You need to honor the time now. You need to honor that chance that you're being given now, right? And you need to respect those emotions and respect your Ori and respect your higher self and respect your destiny and respect your shadow self and everything, and do all of that now. Do that work now, because now is what matters, right? So those are your cards. And then let's see, we have these little messages that I wrote, that I picked for you guys. I didn't look at the messages and be like, this is the one for you. So I picked them at random, but I got "you're wrong." So again, what we've been talking about, if you were kind of this perpetuator or this, whatever the word is, the one that did the stuff, the not so good stuff, you were wrong, accept it. You have an uphill battle ahead of you. You're being given a chance. These people are helping you, whatever it is, the situation. Some of you could have ran away from your family and, kind of not been in touch with your family, and now you kind of turned back to your family, and you can't expect them, just like they can't expect you, for everybody to just automatically be happy, to be okay, and to be trusting of each other or whatever, especially if you were the one that did wrong, but you need to appreciate where you are now and appreciate the chance that you're being given now, right? And appreciate and take these opportunities and admit when you're wrong and be ready to face that accountability and that responsibility and whatever consequences that may come for it. It's time to move forward. It's time to grow. It's time to be reborn, right? Then we have let go of false intuition, aka anxiety. So I also felt like this should have said let go of ego too. So let go of that, I'm a victim, I was wrong, or you were wrong too, you did this too. No, you need to just take your self-responsibility, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is here and now, and the only person that matters is you, right? The only thing, your decisions affect you the most, right? And your inside affects you the most. And so when you get right with yourself inside and you find that balance and you let go of that anxiety, you let go of that ego, and that. So my iPad cut out on me, so now I'm on my phone. So this is super ghetto. So sorry, Virgos. Whatever I was saying about the ego and the anxiety and stuff like that, let it go. Let yourself get healed. Let these people help you. Let this person help you. It's okay to need help. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have emotions, Virgos, right? What else do we have? A semblance of normalcy can be deadly. I think that definitely refers to whatever may happen in the past. If you start reverting to old ways, old habits, watch out for that. Because when things start to feel normal and you start to get comfortable and you start taking things for granted, that is a warning sign. You need to be on your A game. You need to pay attention to yourself. You need to be really look into yourself and tap into yourself. That's really the biggest message that's coming out too, is that you need to tap into yourself, tap into your higher self, tap into your Ori, who you are, you yourself, who are you? Take time to work on that. Discover who you are. We don't want to get stuck in our old ways. We need to be aware of who we are. We don't want to go back to what may have been normal for us, because what may have been normal for us is not serving us. Speaking of not serving us, we're going to go look over here at one of your oracle cards, God of the Underworld. Something which no longer serves you is about to end, right? So when we look at this, we're definitely just being told, don't go back to your old ways. Don't go back to your old habits, your old way of thinking. You have an uphill battle. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. Persevere. Have some stamina. And and allow yourself to be helped and allow yourself to grow. And you'll have the world. You'll have the world. The world. The entire world. Then you got tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow also represents, to me, represents the word rebirth. Tomorrow, the next day, preparing today for tomorrow. So take advantage of the time that you have now of this life, make the changes you can in this life so that you can change this life and the next and the future generations, right? Your generations, if you choose to have lineage. Going into lastly but not least, your last two oracle cards. You have Angel of Pleasure. Take pleasure in the things you do. I feel like, that's just a pretty obvious message. So some of y'all need to, again, I feel like tap into that child, that inner child again. Some of y'all may need to confront some things that are in inner child that may not be pleasant too, which may be why you're so grounded into real world things and where you are right here, right now. You're just like, I'm not gonna deal with anything. But you need to learn to be pleasurable, right? And truly enjoy life, right? And enjoy the things that you do. You don't need to suffer, right? You don't need to suffer because you think you have to. And then we have the Angel of Self-Worth. You are currently undervaluing yourself. It's time to regain your self-worth. I feel like for some of you guys, whatever it is, if you were maybe this person that did the thing, you might not be feeling the best about yourself. And I think, again, you just need to remind yourself that you're human and that, value yourself. You need to value yourself because, it's not really, I hate that quote of like, if you don't love yourself, how is anybody else going to love you? Truly, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else, right? How are you going to be able to care for somebody else, have empathy for somebody else, have all of these emotions for somebody else if you can't do it with yourself? So again, that goes into Virgos, who are these really grounded people who don't deal with the emotions very much, right? You really need to confront those emotions. You need to confront your inner self, because some of y'all, I forget a message that some of y'all have been looking for love, wanting love. How are you going to get love? How are you going to be able to love somebody if you can't even confront these emotions within yourself? What are you going to do when your partner is dealing with emotions that you have no idea how to deal with because you can't even deal with them inside of yourself? I think that's like the overall message that I got for you guys. So